Robbie, go ahead.
All right, I see we're recording. Thanks, Cleve. This is the Wilmington Rotary meeting. Welcome everybody to the Wilmington Rotary meeting for 8/18/2020. We're going to start the meeting today with Bo Dean giving us an invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. Bo, take it away. Unmute yourself.
All right, hopefully everybody can see my screen, and there is a beautiful quote up there. You may not always see the results of your kindness, but every bit of positive energy you contribute to the world makes it a better place for all of us. I got to tell you that one of the reasons I'm involved in Rotary, and I have been for, this will be my 12th year, not in this club, but 12th year in Rotary, is because what we do by what we say, think, and do, and our four-way test and our areas of focus is that we take what we have by not only our privileges, but our blessings, our capabilities, and what we bring into the world, and we bring them together, no matter our differences or differences of opinion, and we put them into a room, and right now we're putting them into this Zoom, and we're making differences in the world in service above self. So coming together today, if you'll join me in prayer. Thank you for all of the abilities that we have and all of the gifts that we are gathered together in a very weary world, a world that has been influenced by pandemics and natural disasters and by all sorts of differences that are creating a challenge for us to connect and come together. But yet here we do. Here we come together on this Zoom, no matter where we are or what place we have in the world, we're still connecting. And we're trying and we're achieving that attempt to come together to use what we have to make a difference in the world around us. That's because we have something greater than ourselves at risk and at play to make that possible. And that in of itself is everything that we thank you for bringing this Rotary possible for us to meet today. So with that, we say thank you. We thank you for all of the folks that we keep in our hearts that are not doing well today, that are struggling. We keep those in our thoughts and prayers that are at risk. And we thank you for the opportunities to continue service with all the abundance in our life. In all of your holy names we pray. Amen. Amen. For those that are able, if you will rise as you're able in spirit and or in body and face whatever flag you have available to you and repeat with us, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and with liberty and justice for all. Thank y'all.
There we go. All right. All right. Thanks, Bo. Great job with the invocation and pledge. We're going to move right on to health and happiness with John Meyer. John, unmute yourself and come on up.
Here I is.
All right.
Hi, everybody. Well, the chief concern that I'm aware of health-wise is Patrice Willitz's husband, Ken. He is in the hospital in Chapel Hill, and as you're probably aware, he has been sick for some time now. So, of course, he and Patrice can use all the support we can offer them through this tough time. And moving on to the birthdays, let's all send good wishes to this week's birthday boys and girls. Yesterday on the 17th, Bill Hummel. Tomorrow on the 19th, Mike Bowden. On Saturday the 22nd, Laura Paget. And on Sunday the 23rd, Joanne Daly. So a very happy birthday to everybody. And another happy anniversary, not satisfied with just having his birthday, Mike and Gail Bowden are celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary this week. So hearty congratulations to both of you, Gail especially for sheer stamina. We love you, Mike. Albert Corbett reports that one of his grandsons just got his Eagle Scout, and I can attest that is no small thing, and especially these days, very much no small thing. Well, now, one of the sadder things that I've realized lately, this was confirmed by a Father's Day card that my daughter sent me this year. What all along I'd been thinking was a sharp wit is really nothing more than a bunch of dad jokes. So getting back to my daughter, yesterday she sent us some adorable pictures of her kids getting ready for the beginnings of this strange new school year at home. One of them is in first grade, one in kindergarten. The remote learning seems to be working okay, but parts of it were just kind of odd. One of their teachers opened a math lesson by saying she was only going to teach subtraction. She just wants to make a difference. The kids reported that during that math lesson, the teacher looked pretty sad. She just had so many problems. I feel sorry for that teacher. She was trying to engage the kids with one of those story problems. You all remember story problems, right? After laying it all out, she asked, "So, how many apples grow on that tree?" My grandson said, "All of them." And she gave up on that, but then she got her math mixed up with a geography lesson, you know, the state capitals. So she says, "In Maryland, if you have 6 apples and your sister has 7, you have Annapolis." Okay, that didn't work so well. So the teacher decided to try a different kind of fruit. She started out, "If 2 melons ran off to get married," and a kid interrupted her, "Impossible, melons can't elope." And during that first school day, everybody did get a brief scare. We heard there was a kidnapping in class, but fortunately he woke up. On the other hand, since the younger of the grandkids is in kindergarten, she actually did have an official nap time. But when she refused to lie down, the teacher accused her of resisting arrest. This virtual schooling can be tough. The teacher was asking my grandson to write about his summer vacation. He got so frustrated at this that he broke his pencil. Then he complained, "This is pointless." And that may well sum up my time with you all today. So one thing I do like about this strange virtual reality, when the audience is all out online and when all your microphones are muted, I just can't hear all the silence.
Yeah.
Thanks.
John, your time was up about 3 minutes ago, but thanks for finishing anyway. We're going to move right along to guests. And I know that we do have some visiting Rotarians today, and I appreciate all of them joining us on their time during our Zoom meeting. Rich Gilbert, can you unmute your mic and say hello and wave so I can see you in the screen?
Hello, everybody. I don't know if I did it correctly.
Yeah, we can hear you now, Rich. I understand
Okay,
that you're relocating to Wilmington. Where are you coming from?
Coming from Hackensack, New Jersey. I've lived there my lifetime. It's a big move, a big change, but I really like the area, and I think it'll suit us well.
Well, that's really exciting. We love New Jersey money in southeastern North Carolina.
I'm
So
sure.
thanks.
I'm sure. Not sure the governor's going to leave me much on my way, but
that's right. Have you already purchased a house?
Actually, I have 3 or 4 that we really like, and not to pressure my wife and make this crazy, we just leased today for 6 months a beautiful new townhouse in, my God, Echo, I think.
Oh,
Echo
yeah.
Lake? Does that sound right?
Echo Farm, maybe?
Echo Farm, I'm sorry. It's so, I've seen so many things. It's incredible.
Well, welcome, and we look forward to getting to know you better. Hopefully we can have you back at another meeting. Thank you.
I would love to be invited.
All right. And Jill and Richard Cody from Frederick, Maryland. Can y'all unmute your mic and give us a wave, say hello?
It's just Jill. Richard went to pick up the dog for the groomers.
Well, welcome, Jill. And you're from Frederick?
Well, actually, I'm originally from right down here in Wilmington, but more recently from Frederick, Maryland.
And it looks like you're at your house. Are you in Frederick
Yes.
today? Or you?
No,
Yes.
I'm in Wrightsville.
Wonderful.
I'm
Welcome.
in God's country at the beach.
What brings you to Wrightsville Beach?
Well, seeing old friends. I used to live here, remember? So this
Of
is,
course. Well,
Ellen
thanks
is
for,
Ellen is one of my dear friends, and there's others in the club that are as well.
I'm glad
But
you said that. I
Ellen's
should have,
here.
yeah, I should have had Ellen introduce you. I'm sorry, Ellen. Figuring this out one day at a time. Well, thanks for being here, Jill. And if you're
Thank
back,
you.
we'd love to have you back anytime.
Hi, Al. Alan Corbett's there too.
Next, do we have any other visiting Rotarians or guests? Those were the ones I was aware of.
Yeah, you have me, Jack Clark. I'm also visiting from, again, my Bethesda Chevy Chase Rotary Club up in Maryland, not too far from Frederick. And of course, I live down here now. And I've got a nice continuing invite from Lynn Boney and Albert Corbett.
Well, wonderful for being here, Jack. Thanks a lot. Great to see everybody. All right, we're going to move right on to a couple of announcements. I've got the announcements thinned down today. We're getting through everything as this new year starts. And Harley, do you want to give us an update on the attraction book, please?
Yes, we have 53 sold at this point, trying to get to 80, so we don't have far to go. I've been delivering a number of them. But I would urge people to remember that you only have to make back to break even $25. You don't have to use the entire book. So if you make back your 25, you've made a gift to the club's charities of half of that. So you've really spent almost nothing. So take a wing.
Thanks,
And
Harley.
I promise I'll remember the four-way test today.
I hadn't thought about it. All right, but I have written it up there for everybody to see, so everybody can take note. The four-way test is in our group chat. So when we get to the end, if I put you on the spot, you can look at it up there and find it.
Robbie,
Right,
if I could introduce relative to the four-way test, my Alzheimer's Walk Rotary team still looking for members, and I want you to know the name of my team is Service Before Self. So anyone who wants to get involved, give me a call. November 7, Halliburton Park Walk. Okay.
And that sounds great, Ann. Thank you. Bo, can you give us an update on those masks?
Yep. I should be seeing these in the mail either tomorrow or the next day. You'll see a little piece packet come in.
Bo, your audio doesn't seem to be working well. Although you're not muted, I'm not hearing you.
Hang on. Be seeing the pink packets coming in the mail tomorrow or the next day. They've been hand addressed. They're little bubble packets for those of you that have ordered. And then after that, I'll send the list to Larry. He's going to send you an email so that you can pay for them. And I am up to date with the emails that y'all sent to Bo Wilmington or that you put in the chat here. Harley, I got yours, and I got yours. I'm seeing people, so if you don't get it by Saturday, that means that maybe I missed something. So make sure you email me back if you don't see this by Saturday, because they will come, they're addressed and ready to go.
Awesome, Bo. Thanks so much for your work on that. That's all the announcements I have right here. Please unmute yourself and speak up if you have another announcement, a quick announcement for the club right now. Not hearing anybody, I'm going to go ahead and move on. We did have a great board meeting. I want to thank all those members of our club that are on the board that participate in extra meetings each month. We had a very successful board meeting last night, so thanks for everybody being there and your time. Moving on, we're going to jump right into the most exciting and best part of the day. And I do see Dawn smiling down there with her Rotary background. She looks so official. Dawn, it's been a pleasure seeing you at the events this year and getting to know more and more about you. You're doing a great job. I think that we have somebody introducing our speaker today, so I'll quit introducing her.
Yeah, that's me, Robbie.
Cleve, just don't repeat anything I already said and take it away.
Okay, very good. Well, Dawn Rochelle, if you haven't met her, you're in for a treat. She is a wonderful advocate for Rotary. She has over a 30-year career in human services. She served as the CEO of Partnership for Children, which is a private nonprofit organization serving Onslow County and area. But Rotary's focus and legacy of transcending roadblocks in communities to alleviate barriers is what attracted Dawn to Rotary in the year 2004. She's been active in the Rotary Club of Jacksonville. Since then, she earned the New Rotarian of the Year, served in various club roles, including as president in 2011 and 12. She's a graduate of the Rotary Leadership Institute and a multiple Paul Harris Fellow. Dawn has attended multiple Rotary International conventions in England, New Orleans, and Atlanta. She was a member of the National Immunization Trip to India in 2015 and 2019 for zones 33 and 34, where she experienced the significant impact of the contributions to the Rotary Foundation and the difference that that made in our world through Rotary. Dawn has served in multiple capacities in her career. She was a founding member of the New River YMCA board and a past chair of United Way of Onslow County. She is a trauma-trained licensed clinical social worker, a small business owner of a wellness and consulting business, and an executive director of the John Maxwell team, where she continues her leadership growth and development in speaking, consulting, and coaching. So let's have a nice warm Rotary welcome for our guest today, District Governor Dawn Rochelle. Welcome, Dawn.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And I am so blessed that I have been in the room with many of you before, and I see a lot of friends in the list. So it's a blessing to be here, and thank you for your kind words, Robbie, as it was leading off. This is certainly different, isn't it? Certainly different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, and what I'm going to invite you to do is also to, the fun thing about Zoom, is we've been Zooming now for consistently for 5 months. Luckily, I was familiar with the platform, but I, like you, am doing business pretty much from my dining room table or wherever else in the house I want to sit that day. So my office remains closed to the public so that we can only provide essential services at this point. So what I'm going to invite you to do is that if you have a specific question that you would like me to address, just send me a note in the chat and I'll be happy to chat about that. Because, I am still very much a student of Rotary. And so I think one of the things I miss the most about being in the room is just sitting at the table and having the sidebar conversations. So please just send me a note if you'd like me to do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with just a few slides. And part of it is to keep me focused because there's a lot that I can talk about. And you know me, you know that's true. So anyway, so as I said, I'm very happy to be with the Wilmington Rotary Club. And, Rotary isn't canceled, and I'm really, really proud of all of you for being here and for knowing the connection and leverage that Rotary brings to your life. But it is a wee bit different, and we know that. And so how we consider those opportunities is what we have to do. This club this club has been around a while, right? So you just passed 105 years. And on April 1st of this year, completely different than anything that we had expected. And in less than 2,000 days, you're going to reach 110. So in less than 5 years, but in less than 2,000 days. And what is your vision of what the Wilmington Rotary Club will be in 100, when you are celebrating 110 as a birthday? You have staying power. And when you look back at everything that has been able to be accomplished through all of the membership. I always go back and I look in the database to kind of see your membership and to look, and there's not many things in Wilmington that you can't connect back to membership in this club. And so for that, I say thank you. But what is your vision going to be, and how will you get there? What has to be true today in order to be there tomorrow? And so we have an amazing opportunity that I always want to celebrate. Every year in Rotary is amazing. The theme, of course, this year is Rotary Opens Opportunities, and I'm very proud of the the board and the nominating committee for Rotary International, because they certainly seized on the opportunity to elect Jennifer Jones to serve as the Rotary International president in 22-23. So your presidential nominee for your club is going to have an extraordinary year, just as you will as well, Cleve, with Shaker. 22-23 is going to be pretty special because we're also going to be back in the United States for the Rotary International Convention in Houston. So we're going to, on the other side of this pandemic, we are definitely going to see a lot of energy and sort of how do we sort of prepare ourselves even more so for that. And of course, as a woman in Rotary, I always celebrate, and Magda, I always wear this. This is something that for the presidents that have been to president-elect training, you know that Magda Baggett for several years, one of our past district governors, always comes, and Russell Hampton has her order of Women in Rotary pins. And she does that, you know, to remind us of that it wasn't always possible for us to be here. And all of us sort of have a story where that's true in our lives. And I always wear this pin. I am the 5th female governor for the district, and there's 5 women on this. And of course, next year, Ellen Deaton will serve as the 6th. And I think that's always important because someone had to create the opportunity, not just in inviting me to Rotary, but then also to see something in me that I didn't see in myself. And we all have that story of creating that opportunity for someone to be a part of this great organization. And so club structures, you know, your club is the largest club in our district of 49 Rotary clubs and almost 1,800 members now. You're the largest, and I know you have your challenges just in finding a meeting space unless you're going to meet indoor at Trask. Somewhere on UNCW's campus or a convention center or an airport hangar. And so it becomes incumbent upon us knowing that the challenges that we continue to face, and as we continue to look at what will be possible, especially with, you know, depending on the level of public health officials that we, you know, that we hear information from, this may be still over a year out before we're comfortable in high-level congregate situations. And so where do we meet and how do we meet and what is our membership currently showing us? You know, the reason why, and I found this quote as I was leading up to the first virtual installation of a leadership team in our district, is, you know, this quote, which is, "This is why I am a Rotarian. This is why I know that Rotary will be stronger on the other side of this." There's a lot that's happened in our country in 115 years, a lot that's happened in the world. But yet I know that when, as a Rotarian, that I am around the light bringers, I am around the magic makers, I am around the world shifters, and I am around the game shakers. I know that I will always be challenged. I know that I will be broken and uplifted and expanded, because Rotarians don't let me play small with my life. I have people that, you know, they can give me a side eye, as we say, but they don't let me play small with my life. They challenge me to be my best. And all of you, I consider my family and my tribe, and we show up for each other. And I know that's why you're on the call today. And so it's a matter of sort of, you know, we have the opportunity to really think about what is the market showing us. I'm a big leadership kind of student, and I try to learn and get new frames around things, especially when I don't understand or I can't see a way out myself. And being able to listen to the market and what is it that people are wanting right now. And they're wanting a way to connect and to leverage, and they're wanting to be around entrepreneurial mindset and to know that they're okay. And I think Rotary offers that opportunity. And so how are we reaching out to our community to let them know that we're here? Of course, social media is a big part of it. The connections that you make individually through your business and through your family, through your churches, ever how you're showing up right now is huge. And so what, is it a satellite club? Is it a hybrid club? We now have clubs that aren't waiting for people to move into the area. They're allowing them into membership and creating separate fee structures. The Little Maysville Club, that was a club of 7, is now a club of 11. And one of their last members they inducted is from New Zealand, who's never been to Maysville, North Carolina. So our leadership and our structure is only limited by our own knowledge. And so what if? We are seeing some move around the country and around the world to cause-based clubs. Sometimes in Rotary, we have so many ideas that we can be very scatter-patterned. And I think we've all sort of felt that sometimes in Rotary. It's like, what is it we're doing? We got these areas of focus and we got this and we got this. And so sometimes, especially when the bandwidth already feels so stretched, what can we focus on? Like if we put all of our energy into this with community partners, what could we do? And we're seeing cause-based clubs spring up around human trafficking, anti-human trafficking. We're seeing it spring up around veterans issues. Anything is possible. It can be around a vocational group. There was a classmate of mine in South Africa. They have created a cause-based club where they have doctors in pods all over the world. And the reason why that's so important for these medical teams is that they now, because of their giving to the Rotary Foundation and because as a Rotary Club, they can now leverage global grants and other grants that they would not have access to. And plus they're Rotary. And because we are non-political, non-religious, many times having this Rotary, anything Rotary on in another country signifies we follow the 4-way test. This is not about our agenda. We're about peace and we're about helping you to solve whatever the issue is, which is huge. And of course we have passport clubs already. So what is it that the market is showing us that can help? And again, I know because you are a large club, my club is now right around 80 members. And, we struggle to find where can we meet? What can we do? But what we do know is that people want to serve. And I know that Bo already talked about your mask project. I love that. That's very, that is what we need right now. We need for people to see visually that we do care and that we're not just a lunch meeting club or an evening meeting club or even breakfast, that we're here, we're thinking, we're out, we care about our community. And how we keep members engaged will in large part determine our membership. I know you guys have so much happening all the time. So I am curious to hear and to learn more sort of about what you feel is possible forward with the restrictions that you currently have. But I love the mask and I do want to order one. I was asked that on a call actually, like, where can we get masks? And so how can clubs raise money? Because I know this is on everybody's mind as well. And again, I would love to hear sort of ideas and plans so I know how to lean in. I will have to tell you, one of the most creative ones that I have heard happening in North Carolina. Did you know that, the homing pigeons that exist? I've never seen like a group of homing pigeons released. Evidently, there are fellowships of homing pigeons. There's homing pigeon clubs. Well, there is a group, and they have extended it within their Rotary District. It's around it's the Greensboro area Rotary District in North Carolina. One club did it, and they are now sharing it with all the other clubs in their district. And they have 200 homing pigeons that they're taking to the Charlotte Motor Speedway, and they're selling tickets, and it's a homing pigeon race. Now, if that's not the best social distancing thing that you've heard. And so every club can, of course, every club can sell 200 tickets. The clubs are making anywhere from $25,000 to $30,000 on those tickets. you know, it's limitless. It's limitless. I've seen other things, and of course I sent this out to the district yesterday. There's so many ideas that are out there. I've seen the cutest thing out of the UK. Our district, our partner districts in the Bahamas shared it. It's a virtual dog show, and they just submit tickets, and everybody submits money, you know, in order to do it. So there's lots of ideas out there. It's just a matter of like what feels authentic to your club and who can run especially the tech side of it. That's important. And so what I always, you know, of course, I'm the district governor, and I know you've got your foundation chair on the call. I saw past district governor RB, and I know what it's like to award. I don't think I've been to a meeting actually where you haven't been recognizing and awarding a new Paul Harris Fellow or an additional Paul Harris Fellow that because of your club's giving. Y'all can teach me lessons on this. But one of the things that I'm doing this year is what I'm asking for is that every Rotarian, every year, this district has never been an every Rotarian every year district. So every Rotarian gives at least $100 to the annual fund. And that's what I'm asking for. Every Rotarian every year gives at least 100. Now I know that many of you give way more than that, and I appreciate that. And if we could have every Rotarian every year just give $100. Today, go on Rotary.org, look at how to give a donation, and just give $100. We have E-rate clubs, but we only have 4. We only have 4. And this is our charity. As Rotarians, this is our charity. And the way and the reason is because that money not only leverages additional projects back in our community, which I know you know because you apply for district grants, but it also leverages work around the world on behalf of Rotary. You know, this year, and of course you have past district governors, you have also Elliot, who is our finance chair, our treasurer for the district. You know, this is the way that we can sort of leverage and see the power and the connection. This year, we've already been a part of a global grant in Puerto Rico where we're buying respirators in the pediatric ward in a hospital in Puerto Rico who continues to struggle, as we all know, on multiple levels because with the infrastructure issues. And then we've also just participated in a global grant with Pakistan to help with clean water, because we all know that the spread of viruses is decreased when populations have access to clean water. And so $100, that's what I'm asking. And then $50 to polio. I say the money that we've not spent on food, if people can give just $50. And why? Because we made a commitment to the world's children many years ago. And I think all of us kind of want to get this done. And there's not much, and I put it in the district letter yesterday, there's not a lot of, on the district Facebook page, you can't really turn on a story about COVID and the history, and you don't hear about polio and how they are studying the viruses that have been eliminated to inform how we squash out COVID. And so there's a reason, you know, we're a part of this fight. We're a part of people understanding how viruses act and how you eliminate them around the world. So $100 to the annual fund, $50 to polio, and you can simplify your giving by just going to Rotary Direct. And so lots of opportunities to learn. This is some of the group that I adore in Rotary that I would have never met, I would have never known. This is some of the governor line as well. We're just missing Vanessa in this picture. But there's lots of training, and it's like, well, how do I know about this thing called Rotary? Because you're putting your time, your talent, and your treasure in it. So how do you learn more? Everything is there. You know, DACDB sort of serves as our virtual cloud for the district. Rotary.org is the virtual cloud for Rotary International. People always say, well, why is there 2? We're an international organization, so not every districts have the bandwidth, sufficient bandwidth for DACDB, or the it's just not available in districts in other parts of the world. And so they have their own sort of a way of doing that. But Rotary.org is our virtual cloud for Rotary internationally. And so with that, I'll go and see if anybody has messaged me any questions, but I will also open it up for that. So I do have a question in terms of what are opportunities for virtual RILA since, yes, and I can talk about things that are canceled, and I did put that in the email yesterday. And I'm gonna stop share and I'll go back. So we are currently looking, and I would ask every Rotarian, which is what I did. We are currently looking for virtual learning opportunities. Rotaractors, those that are college age and young professionals, I think there's a lot of opportunity right now to engage in our area because, in fact, I had an email this morning from one of my classmates. Someone says, I'm losing my audio. Can y'all hear me? Whoop. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry. What I would say is that we are currently looking, I think there's a lot of opportunities. And certainly if you know, I was kind of thinking this morning as I was out driving that, there may be some interactors who would be willing to take this on. One of my classmates in the western part of the state, they're looking at Rotaractors and our mentoring of Rotaractors and Rotaractors mentoring of interactors. It's a matter of finding who can provide, and we know that there are other districts in other parts of the world that are virtual because of travel and just other things. And so stay tuned, more to come on that. But we felt we had to make the decision because of congregate situations, overnight situations, uncertainties with school to cancel the district RILA, unfortunately. Other questions?
This is Cleve. I'd like to jump in and ask if those of you who are used to doing your question the way we've done it in the past, if you open up your participant window and raise a blue hand, which means ask question, we can also do it that way. Dawn has, of course, asked for questions to come in via chat. So we can do it either way. And I see we have Dale Smith. Dale, would you unmute your mic and ask your question, please?
Okay.
Go ahead, Dale.
Dawn, thank you for your presentation. You're doing a great job of leadership. I know that you've established a task force because RB and I are participants, and David, to deal with the issue of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I just wanted to have you tell the club why you've decided to establish this task force.
Sure, absolutely. Well, and what we've tried to do is to go back and really, again, I'm still a student of Rotary. I always say I'm still finding the secret decoder ring. And so, Rotary, as I said in my email yesterday to the district, Rotary is based on the foundation of our work with the United Nations. Even I did not realize, in the beginning, sort of the work that we have done for years regarding international peace. And Rotary came with a strong, with a Council of Legislation decision in the beginning of 2019. So generally those things have been proposed for months ahead of that. So this was, again, it was January or February of 2019, way before what we have recently experienced in the United States. And of course, when those decisions are made, it's made from an international perspective. And so, and part of it, I think, is driven by membership. It's sort of like, what is getting in the way? Because Rotary International's stance is that all are welcome, all have a seat at the table. However, when we look around, sometimes we don't see the diversity that we see in our own community. And so, at pre-cat, so our class, our district governor class, the first time I sat down with there's 31 of us in zones 33 and 34. So clubs make up districts, districts make up zones for folks that aren't aware of that. So when I sat down with our classmates that goes from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, through the Florida Keys, out through the Bahamas and the Southern Caribbean. Diversity in 2018 was the first topic we talked about, because they say what's important, and it's that we represent as Rotarians the communities that we live and serve in, that we know that there are stronger connections that need to be made. So the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Task Force is really to help us think through how is it, knowing that we are diverse in Southeastern North Carolina, how can we be more inclusive of diversity, and how can we make it more equitable for people to join Rotary? And it was discussed at pre-PETS, it was discussed at PETS as well. It's in the PETS manual for this year. So those that went through that have that. And it felt like in the aftermath, so it was already something on the table, and then COVID hit. We got a global pandemic, and then in the wake of the pandemic, just as we stood up a short-lived task force within the zones have done the same thing in the aftermath, in particular of the death of George Floyd. There have been deaths for many, many years that we have all been concerned about and we question. And we felt like, given all of the foundation, Rotary International stance, all of the discussions that had already taken place, it was time to really look at the health of our clubs. We have a lot of resource materials in Rotary.org, and we need to bring those to Southeastern North Carolina to really look at how can we serve more, how can we grow more, and how can we ask the questions in the way that need to be asked authentically for us.
Okay, Dawn, thank you. Our next question comes from Mike Bowden. Mike, please unmute. Mike, would you unmute yourself, please? Hello, Mike.
Here we are. Okay.
There you go. Go.
Remember, I'm going to be 72 yesterday. My hands don't move that fast anymore. So. Dawn, congratulations for embracing a very unusual year. I have three very quick questions. Number one, I was wondering if maybe you mentioned it before, and I apologize if you did, about which countries do we have to eliminate polio from, number one. And then number two, with our club being the largest in the district, how many Paul Harris Society members do we have? Because I think we have room for growth there. And then I was wondering if you had at your fingertips how many grant dollars we've earned for this Rotary year.
Sure. All right. You're a numbers guy. So I'm going to challenge RB as your foundation chair to help me out with the current number of Paul Harris Foundation. But yeah, I can get that to you afterwards if not. And so what was the first question? I'm sorry.
The grant dollars, and then which countries still need to eliminate polio.
Yes. So the two countries, and one of the reasons why we wanted to partner with Pakistan on the Clean Water Grant, because we know that clean water is a part of helping to eliminate the polio virus. So Pakistan and Afghanistan are still the two endemic countries. So we made progress. We got two more to go, and we certainly all know the challenges. The wonderful thing is the current Rotaract president is a student by the name of Ali, and I hope to have Ali on a district call. He is the Rotaract president, and he is from Pakistan. And of course, we have connections, and the district polio call that we had also had the foundation trustee Aziz Maman, who also is, we are partnering with his district, and he's also willing to, he's a past district governor. My governor classmate can also join us as well to learn more about how we can aid in Pakistan. In terms of the grant dollars, we are working on that. We have a district finance committee meeting Wednesday evening. So I've already met with the foundation chairs on that, and Steve Hellersberg always does an amazing job. So we hope to get those numbers. And also, quite frankly, we are, obviously there's a lot of things in the district that would traditionally happen that are not happening. So we are also looking at our budget from a district perspective to see as well what we will be able to also contribute. Just as in Doug's year, we partnered as a district with the raising the relief efforts, which your club just jumped right into for hunger. So we will do that. And then I will ask RB if he can help me with the Paul Harris Society. It'd be great if you were 100% Paul Harris Society Club, wouldn't it? Yeah. So to be a Paul Harris Society member means that you are all contributing at least $1,000 a year to the Rotary Foundation. It's $85 a month.
RB, you're unmuted, so if you can answer Dawn's question, go ahead.
I held up 4 fingers. We have 4 in the club.
Okay.
And I'd certainly like to get more. And next month, when it's November 10 is when the club's foundation program will be, and I'll provide a summary of where we stand club-wise in terms of Paul Harris Fellows, multiple Paul Harris Fellows, and Paul Harris Society members. And we even last year, late, had a major donor, a new major donor. So that was good news. So
yeah, and I think the thing, here's what I will say is that I really don't know of anything. I mean, I'm sure some of you have researched it even, you know, with the Rotary Foundation. Again, to be a Rotarian, it's part of our leverage in the world. Like, because of you, all of your giving, you know, locally, we can provide books, we can provide hazmat suits in Pender County out in the wake of Hurricane Florence, because they didn't have the right hazmat suits. We can invest in bee projects. There's multiple things that we've invested in North Carolina, in southeastern North Carolina, because you gave. There are also things that we've invested in, like I said, in Africa, in Pakistan, in Puerto Rico, in Jamaica, and all over the world, because you gave. And that is where the buying power of all of us giving whatever we can give, which is why, you know, I give to, it just comes out of, I don't even think about it honestly anymore, because it's roughly $85 a month. I just, you know, and I'm certainly not eating out right now.
Okay, our next questioner is Albert Corbett. Albert, you are unmuted, so go ahead.
District Governor Dawn, great to have you with us. Appreciate all your insight, especially helpful to new Rotarians. And one thing I wanted to ask you is, how can we, the Wilmington Club, as large as we are, with the ability to donate, to give, what do you see we could do, and maybe in partnership with another district, to expand on what we are wanting to do? Do you have any suggestions in how that might come about?
Sure. Well, and here's what I would, I think obviously in New Hanover County, you have multiple clubs already, right? I think there are 7, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
yes.
And here's what I would encourage you to do is to start there. Because when you think about, because all of those clubs, you're the mothership, and it's how are they doing?
Yeah.
And invite them to your meeting.
Start local first. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I always say it starts at home.
Yeah.
Starts at home.
Good point.
And to reach out, because all of you are in different places and different spaces in the Wilmington community. New Hanover County needs you right now. Our children need you, because I know we all have that. You know, having a virtual Interact Club would be extraordinary. Offering mentorship to young professionals and doing a virtual Rotaract Club. You don't have to meet in person to do any of those things. You just need 20. And I'll be happy to sign that. Because, and I say that and it's not about the numbers. It's not, I just know how many numbers need us right now.
Yeah. I understand. Thank you. Thank you. Great suggestion.
All right. Thank you, Albert. We have another question from Dale Smith. Dale, you're unmuted.
Quick,
Go
I'll
ahead.
just talk about budget. Reminded me, I wanted to know how much money you have at the district level for global grants this Rotary year.
Great question. And if I could go get my book, I will, but I can email it out to the club if not. The money that came back.
That's okay. You can give it to me later. I just
I will email it to you.
we're going to start working on another global grant, and so I just want to get some idea.
Well, I will tell you, I need to know that soon. Like even just your idea, like if you can let me know what that is, so that Nancy, Barbie, and I can get involved. I will tell you, and RB could have prepared me better. I'm just joking. Is the amount of requests from other countries that I get. Like people understand it, you know, and so even today I've gotten a request for a project in the Caribbean from another district that is asking us to partner. And literally, like when you do, like knowing how to put it together, it's the 1,000 here, the 5,000 here, the 2,500 here, and all of a sudden you've made a huge impact. This one in particular is for 350 wheelchairs in a Caribbean country. And of course, you know, having accessibility. And I know what that means because my club has done projects in Mexico, helping with accessibility because other countries don't, you know, they don't have an ADA. They don't have an Americans with Disabilities Act.
Dawn, according to your booklet, there's $57,282 for global grants.
Thank you.
Thank you, RB. You got my back.
Take 50 of it.
Okay, I don't see any more hands being raised in the participant screen. I will direct people's attention to John Meyer, who wrote about audio issues. He was having trouble hearing Dawn. I have not had any trouble with that, but I'd like to know, you folks can send me an email if you had a problem and we can try to look into that. I really don't have an explanation for why John Meyer would have had a problem hearing Dawn. She came through loud and clear for me. Dawn, that is all the comments and questions. So unless you have some final words, we'll turn it over to President Robbie to close the meeting out.
No, I don't. I have always appreciated how much your club stewards and mentors the leadership in your club. And certainly I know that Robbie has such a strong support system and the president line that has already been named behind him. And I think there is no greater thing than knowing the sustainability and how will this move on. It gives you some different freedom and I'm very appreciative for the way that your club and the legacy of your club has contributed to your leadership. Because obviously it's allowed our district to benefit from others of you that have stepped into district service. And I would be remiss to say that, not to mention that we are now open application for the district governor for 2023-24 because we plan that far out. And so that application is online at our district website at rotary7730.org. So reach out if I can get you any information, and thank you so much for your questions and being here.
Thank you, Dawn. Over to you, President Robbie.
Dawn, thanks again for being here. That was a wonderful presentation. There's been a lot of comments in the chat for the Zoom that said how much they appreciated you being here and an interesting and entertaining presentation. We do want to go ahead and send you out one of our masks so you can wear it proudly. So that will come to you in the mail. Look for that in the next week. Again, thanks for being here. We enjoyed it. It was wonderful. Is there anything else from any club members that's important that we need to get out there today before we close down? We got about 1 minute. Hearing nothing, seeing no flailing hands come up, I'm going to move on to the end. If everybody can look at the chat, I have again printed the 4-way test in there of the things we think, say, and do. Steve, if you'll unmute everybody, can we do that? Maybe, yes.
I think people may need to unmute themselves. I don't see an unmute all button over here.
Okay. Yeah, everybody unmute yourself so I can run this through the 4-way test of the things we think, say, and do. Number 1, Terry.
The truth.
The truth.
I was going to call on people. Let's do it together. Number 2.
Is it fair to all
concerned?
Number 3, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And number 4, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Rotary. Thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you being here. We had a great turnout today. Have a great week.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye,
you,
everybody.
Steve.
See you next week.
You're welcome.
You run a tight ship, buddy. Thank you.
I'm still learning. I'm still learning.
No, you got it going on. I appreciate you. I need you at every Zoom meeting.
That's the truth.
All right.
Thanks,
All right.
Cleve.
Ready.
See ya. Thanks, Dom.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. Bye-bye.